So today I'm going to talk about five sense organs and five doing organs. Probably all of us know about these, but there is a very fine link among all of these. I thought to explain it in a much more better way so that we can become more and more conscious about our sense organs, about our operating organs. All the sense organs are actually tools for us, tools for the mind. The mind operates along with these tools. So there are few tools which are for input and there are few things which are for output. So these sense organs, what do? They experience things outside in the outside of this world. As for example, we have eyes to see, ears to hear, nose to smell, tongue to taste, and skin to touch. These are the five sense organs we all know. And they work on its own. That's how we believe. And okay, fine. There is some good smell is there, then nose will automatically experience it on its own. We don't have to do anything specifically. The eyes have the capability, the capacity to see something. We don't have to do anything as such. If just that, if we close our eyes, we cannot see. But if the eyes are open, we see, experience things on that basis automatically. But if we go more deeper into it, when we see something, when we smell something, there is a very fine thing which we need to understand, and that is the realization of that activity. Let me give you one example. Many times, probably, with some of us, or probably all of us, a situation has arisen that we are lost somewhere else. We are seeing things, but actually we don't realize what we saw. I'm sure it has happened with all of us at one time or another. So at that time point, our eyes are definitely seeing whatever it has to see because our eyes are open. But if the mind is not connected at that time point with the eyes, whatever we see, we will not realize that we watched or we saw something. So when we are seeing something through the eyes, to realize it, the mind must be activated in conjunction with that sense organ, with the eye at that time point. Similarly, for smell, similarly for touch. Let me give you another example for the touch. Suppose I'm playing football and I'm so much engrossed in playing football that after I finished, I realized that I had a cut in my leg. I realized that only when I finished my game. During the game, I never realized that there was a cut. Why? Because I was completely engaged. My mind, my full body was completely engaged into the game. So there was a cut on the skin, but I did not realize it because my mind was not connected with what has happened with my body at that time point. The time my consciousness has been drawn out from that game, then that mind consciousness will automatically get distributed to all the sense organs on its own. And if there is a cut, I will realize, oh, there is something here. What happened? Oh, there is a cut. Because now my consciousness, my mind is connecting to it after the game. So it is very clear that if my sense organ is operating, that doesn't mean that during that operation, my mind will realize it as it is. And that's why the role play of the mind is very important for realizing anything. To become conscious, the mind has to be very, very pure, has to be very, very activated. Not just mind. There are other operating systems with us. One is intellect, based on which we decide things, what to do, what not to do. The memory, the chit, where whatever we experience, it gets stored into that memory. And the mind, the intellect, the ego work in conjunction with whatever experience we have got already in that chit, the memory chip. And on that basis only, our doing organs, hand or leg or voice or any other things, these work on the basis of the habit, but these are also connected to the mind itself. If the mind is not connected with the body at that time point, these doing organs like hand or anything, it would not function on its own. Let me take a very simple example here. When we suppose eat, what happens? We pick up something through our hand, and even if we are doing something else at that time point, we are talking to someone, maybe we are watching TV, maybe we are walking, or maybe we are doing something else. But as soon as some uh, eatable thing comes in our hand, that hand will automatically go to the mouth. It will not go to the nose. It will not go to the eyes. It goes to the mouth automatically. One can say that this is out of habit. True. But the hand is not operating on its own, because hand is an inert object. It is linked to a consciousness, and that consciousness is carried by the mind. In a subtle form, that mind is still connected to that hand, and the hand is receiving the signals from the mind, howsoever minute it is, and on that basis only that hand goes to the mouth and we eat. So mind plays both the roles, inside and outside, receiving something, experiencing it, and providing it as an output also. So this input and output has been done continuously. We are doing this in and out with the help of this mind, intellect, memory, and ego on a continuous basis till the time we are awake. And if someone wants to control the output, what our doing organs are doing, first we need to control the input. And hence, the mind is really playing a very, very major role. The mind always gets attracted towards the object of all these sense organs. And that's how the nature is. But if we are not in a position to control the mind, these sense organs can drag us to any of its object, and we will not have any control. But if we are able to control the mind, we are able to control our sense organs, we are able to control our doing organs as well. If no previous experience of an object has been realized earlier, the mind cannot be attracted towards that object. Cannot, never. A very simple example, suppose if I say your father, what happens? Your mind will automatically will be dragged towards your father. Either you have seen him or you have experienced him in one way or another. And as soon as you hear your father, your mind will automatically go and stick to the father experience. But if I say my father, so those who have not experienced my father, those who have not met my father, you will never ever understand which person, what entity I'm talking about. Probably at most you can distort my picture somewhere, somehow, and then see, oh, this is his father. But your mind cannot go to my father as soon as I say, because you have not experienced it. Those who have experienced, they can very easily realize that, oh, I'm talking about this person. So the mind has all the experiences, and any experience which it is attracted towards, that means that experience has already been into the memory, into the chitta. And that's how the mind operates. But this experience, but these characteristics of the mind changes all the time with every moment on the basis of how this characteristic of the nature moves. And since our body is made up of 5 different elements and 3 minute elements, further, Sat, Raj, and Tam, our thinking, our taste, our all these sense organs behavior change on that basis as well. So overall, the mind and the other operating system work in conjunction with the sense organs. And if you want to control our sense organs, we have to control our mind. That's how it is meant to be. Thank you very much for listening.